morning once again, everybody. And today we are talking about communication flow in an organization. Communication flow in an organization. अभी तक लोग ज्वाइन ही कर Stop talking. So we are talking about communication flow in an organization. In any company, you will at the back, stop talking. In any company, in any organization, communication is said to be the bloodline or the chief element through which work is done. In other words, किसी भी कंपनी में बिना कम्युनिकेशन के बाद आगे नहीं बढ़ सकती है. And so today we are talking about as I was saying, communication is the bloodline of any organization. Without communication, nothing can be done. So today we are going to discuss what is the communication flow of an organization. In your exam, my question was, what is the communication flow of a memo? So there are just two communication flows, the downward and the horizontal. But in an organization, let us see how does the communication flow come about. So here the question is the communication flow in an organization. So you may write down communication flows in 5 main directions. So what are these 5 main directions? The downward flow. The downward flow, you already know that it is also done in memos. When persons working in the top hierarchy is corresponding with the persons working under them. The second is the upward. Upward is when the person working in the lower hierarchy is communicating with the higher hierarchy from bottom to top. Like the assistant manager is corresponding with the manager. Lateral. Lateral flow is when persons are communicating on the same level. Like assistant manager with assistant manager, manager to the manager, like manager production, corresponding to the manager marketing. So lateral already means that persons communicating in the same level. And then there's diagonal. Diagonal is, what is diagonal? Tell me. What is diagonal? What is the meaning of diagonal? Yes. It can come about from upward to downward, downward to upward, and also diagonally. And then there's external communication, wherein you're talking to people or corresponding with people outside your organization. So downward, upward, lateral, diagonal, and external. In your exams, question can come, like write short notes on upward communication, downward communication, or in long answers it can be write the communication flow of in an organization. Then you will have to discuss about all the 5. Number 1. The downward flow of communication. Communication that flows from the higher level in an organization to a lower level is a downward communication. In other words, communication from superiors to subordinates in a chain of command. What do you mean by the chain of command? चेन ऑफ कमांड का मतलब होता है सब पास करना नहीं होता है. जैसे मैनेजर पहले बात करेंगे असिस्टेंट मैनेजर से, असिस्टेंट मैनेजर्स बात करेंगे अपने से नीचे से काम करते, तो ऊपर से नीचे एक चेन बनता है स्टेप बाय स्टेप. दिस इज कॉल्ड द चेन ऑफ कमांड. Like if I'm working in a multinational company and I want to talk to the HR, first I will talk to the person working just above me, step by step. I cannot go directly to the HR, or I cannot go directly to the general manager. I'll go to the assistant manager. My file will go to the assistant manager, and he will take it up to the manager, and then to the general manager. It is always done in a chain. This is called the chain of commands. In other words, communication from superiors to subordinates in a chain of command is a downward communication. This communication flow is used by the managers to transmit work-related information to the employees at the lower level. ये क्यों जरूरी हो जाता है और कब जरूरी होता है? When work-related problems के बारे में या work-related instructions के बारे में information ली जाती है. Employees require this information. अब क्यों जरूरी है ये? ये chain of command क्यों जरूरी है? And downward communication क्यों जरूरी है? The general manager will not tell you directly. The general manager may give the information to the assistant, to the manager. The manager will give the instruction to the assistant manager, from whom you will be taking the orders, taking the information. So downward communication is used by managers for purpose of what is the purpose of the downward communication? Provides feedback on employees' performance. It means when you have joined a company and you have worked for 6 months, आप 6 महीने काम कर लिए होते हैं, तो आपको फीडबैक दिया जाता है कि आप में इम्प्रूवमेंट है या नहीं है, या आपने काम कैसा किया है. So the person working in the higher level will write to you and tell you about give you the feedback of your performance. Second, Downward communication is also necessary for giving job instructions, delegation of duties, telling you what to do, providing a complete understanding of the employees, including job as well, as to communicate them how their job is related to others in this organization. Now, in an organization, there are various departments: the IT department, the management department, the production department, the marketing department, the HR department. You will be given an instruction like how your job is somehow related to other departments. Communicating the organization's mission and vision to the employees. When you join a new company, you will be wanting to know, you need to know what is the mission of the company. What is the vision of the company? This can be provided also through downward flow. Highlights the areas of attention. It means downward communication is necessary because you come to know the complete layout of your job profile and highlight your area of working. Organizational publication, circulars, letters, notices, letters to the employees, group meetings, etc. are all examples of downward communication. So, in the exam, I told you to write a letter, or I told you to write a memo that you are a manager and give a downward memo. अब आपने क्या लिखा था? नहीं, आपने क्या लिखा था? डाउनवर्ड कम्युनिकेशन को आपने ऐसे लिखा था. Dear sir, I am very sorry that I am always coming late because of traffic jam.
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. This is not correct. Actually, we have to write for lower worker, lower, yes, lower stage.
There were many people who started like this. They were giving an application like why I am late, because they were replying to that memo that I am very sorry that I am coming late because of traffic jam. The downward memo वो नहीं हुआ ना, वो हुआ
yes ma'am, yes ma'am,
आप reply कर रहे हैं
upward.
आपने जो लिखा है, कई लोगों ने जो लिखा है वो एक रिप्लाई लिखा है उसका, आई एम वेरी सॉरी दैट आई एम कमिंग लेट, आगे से ऐसा नहीं करूंगा. So any letter, any circular which is official are all examples of downward communication. In order to have effective error-free downward communication, now the technical know-how. What are the points will you keep in mind when writing a downward communication? Hello? किस चीज का आप ध्यान देंगे जब आप किसी को डाउनवर्ड कम्युनिकेशन लिखने के लिए बैठेंगे? Write down the question. What are the things you will keep in mind when writing a downward communication? Write the question. What would you keep in mind when writing a downward communication? I've written the sentence, the question on the screen. क्या क्या दिमाग में आनी चाहिए? What is the process of writing a downward communication? The first is specify communication objective. It means आप क्यों लिख रहे हैं इसको specify करना है. मैं क्यों लिख रही हूँ तुमको? जैसे आपने कहा था downward communication for late coming. It has come to my notice that you have been coming late. ये क्या हो गया? एक specified हो गया.
Excuse me, ma'am.
You are a new joinee. आप न्यू ज्वाइनी हैं और आपको इंफॉर्मेशन इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया जा रहा है, आपको इंडक्ट किया जा रहा है, ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम हो रहा है, तो हम क्या करेंगे, कैसे लिखेंगे आपको? That you are a new joinee and you need to know the rules and regulations and vision and mission of the company. सबसे पहले मकसद कि मैं ये मेमो क्यों लिख रही हूँ या मैं ये लेटर क्यों लिख रही हूँ. Number one, specify the communication objective. Second, ensure that the message is accurate. Keep in mind all the 7 C's of communication. It should be accurate. You will convey nothing which is not correct. Ensure the message is accurate. It is there also. It is on the screen also. Accurate, specific, and unambiguous. What is the meaning of unambiguous? It should be clear. It should not have any vague meaning. Yeah, saw the 7 C's वाली. That is why पहले ही आपको करा दिया था हमने. हाँ. It should be specific and unambiguous. And the third is utilize the best communication technique. It means the best possible way you can write. And what is the best possible way is, what is the best way? Very simple sentences. How simply you can write it. In the right form. And in business English, the questions are not very long, unless and until I ask you to define what is downward communication, what are the situation you will be using downward communication, and what things will you keep in mind when writing a downward communication. And if I ask you to write a downward communication letter, then you will have to write something.
Excuse me, ma'am.
It already is specified. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. I have one question, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, downward communication can be for inquiries and suggestion also?
Of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any kind of suggestion you would like to give? Because when you are giving suggestions, you are training somebody. You are advising somebody to do something, right? What do you understand by upward flow of communication? And what are the situations you will be using the upward flow? And what things will you keep in mind when writing an upward communication? Huh? Though it is not in your syllabus somehow, but the questions always come from communication techniques and skills.
Yes, from
this time I thought of giving you the details of communication skills. Like what are the barriers? How can you define communication? And they will be giving you different, in MCQs it is always there, different writers and who said this and who said that in MCQs. So these three questions will be discussed in the next class. What do you understand by the upward flow of communication? Under what situation will you be using the upward flow? And what things will you keep in mind when writing an upward communication? Because always bear in mind that upward communication is you're communicating with your higher level. And the communication should always be full of politeness, showing respect. Respect. We'll discuss these three questions in the next class. Have I shared this in the WhatsApp group with you? I will share this. I am announcing once again, if there is anybody who would like to make a speech, they are welcome. Because there are some students who wanted to make a speech, they are always welcome. Or anybody who would like to participate, and you should participate in the program by at least being in the reception committee. In whatever way you can participate. And everybody has to be here on Sunday, well dressed, well groomed, look your best, because you might be also wanting, you might also want to model for your college, to be a model for prospectus, for hoardings. That's it.